So behind me, I have a 2023 Honda Pilot Trailsport all-wheel drive. Let's take a look at this and then take it for a drive. So right away, you can see it has a Trailsport badging here in orange. And then if you follow it around to the back, you get another Trailsport badge right there. And then they are going to follow that orange color into the interior with the stitching that we'll look at in just a minute. This Honda Pilot Trailsport has a 3.5 liter V6, gets 285 horsepower with a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now the Trailsport gets a lifted suspension. It adds in skid plates. You also get a lower door brush guard, is what they are calling it. This is going to come in at about 18 miles per gallon in the city and about 23 out on the highway. The base price on this is going to be $48,350. And this one that we are looking at today is going to be $48,745. Now, let's take a look around and check out the cargo area. Everybody likes to know, how much room does this have? It does have a powered lift gate. Now, there isn't a whole lot of room back here. It might be about 2 feet deep or so. But when you drop the third row seating, yes, this has 3 rows of seating, which you pull on this tab and then you push forward, drops it down. Same thing here, drops them down. It does drop down flat. As you can see, that is really flat. That gives you a lot larger amount of space. Probably about 5 feet deep and probably 4 foot wide, somewhere in that range. And then I'm sure that you can also drop the second row, which it looks like it has a button up there in the side that will drop that second row, and you can add even more space. So this is a very, very large vehicle, probably about the same size as, say, a Ford Explorer, somewhere in that range. So let's take a look at the rest of the interior. So we'll start here in the driver. Now, I said that the Trailsport carried that orange stitching in, and it does right there on the door armrest. And then you also have the Trailsport all-weather mat. The stitching is also in the seat and up on the headrest. You've got it on the center console there. You even got the stitching going up and around the steering wheel. It's really nice touch. It's just a subtle touch. It's not anything crazy, but it does make it look a lot better. Some manufacturers go overboard on the colors on the inside, but I think this just looks nice. Now you can see all the way back to that third row. You've got a big 12-inch instrument cluster here, and then you've got about a 10-inch infotainment screen. All of your climate controls are down below with knobs and all of that. Here is your gear selector. So you've got push down for park, you pull for reverse, push down for neutral, and push down for drive. Interesting, it's the first time I have actually used this setup. I know that it is fairly common. And apparently we have some multiple drive modes. Sport mode is up, and then you've got normal, economy, snow, trail, sand, and tow. So, you know, of course, we need to drive it in sport mode. And there's really not a whole lot on the infotainment screen for any major functions. Basically does all of your Android Auto and Apple CarPlay and all of your major radio functions and stuff like that. So nothing crazy, no hidden stuff inside the infotainment screen. The steering wheel, of course, you've got your radio settings on the one side, and you have all your drive modes on the other side, including your cruise control and adaptive cruise control, and also lane keep assist. Getting in the back, you can see my seat is where I'm going to be sitting, and it looks like there's a decent amount of room. Second row has captain's chairs. So I've gotten in here, and as you can see, plenty of space with my knees, plenty of space with my head, got about 3 inches or so, plenty of room back here. Here is your climate controls for the second row. They do have vents in the door, in the sides for the third row, which is nice, and you do have a USB plug right there. Okay, so that was the outside and the inside. So let's go take this for a drive now. We have got it in sport mode, and we're gonna see what we can get out of this 3.5 liter V6. Got 285 horsepower. Now this is naturally aspirated engine. There is no turbocharger on this one. I think this is it sounds and feels like a good engine. Exhaust does sound pretty good for a V6. It's kind of impressive. I don't know. I don't know if it's got enough power or the power that I'm expecting it to have. Okay, we are going to hit the road. Let's get this thing up here. It definitely can get loud. But I'm not feeling the pull from it. I can hear it revving really loud, and it's accelerating, but I don't know. I don't think it's got enough power to move this size of a machine. It just feels like it needs something more. Oh, that was very nice over the railroad tracks, very, very smooth. It sounds good, and the acceleration is smooth when you're just lightly accelerating. But we're gonna pull out here and we're gonna do a quick launch. This is all-wheel drive. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Really loud. There was 60. Yeah, it's not fast. Yeah, not fast. I'd say the 0 to 60 on this is probably between 6 and 7 seconds. But it is very, very loud. That engine really gets revved up there, and it's borderline red lines before it shifts in sport. And I just don't feel the power, the kick that you feel that you should get from 285 horsepower. I think this thing probably needs a turbo on it. This thing probably needs more like around 320, 330 horsepower. Would be my guess. So these curves are 25 miles an hour. Yeah, not much body roll. It feels actually pretty good. Accelerate out of the corners very well. I don't feel out of control at all. Yeah, and then it holds the gear. I don't know if you can hear that, but it really holds the gear to slow you back down. I don't know. I think it needs more power. It's got enough to do the job. It's not that it feels sluggish or anything. It just doesn't feel snappy. Very easy to drive, corners very well, very little body roll. And for the everyday person, then this is going to be perfectly fine, no problem. All right, well, thanks for joining me on another drive in this 2023 Honda Pilot Trailsport all-wheel drive. 3-row vehicle, 285 horsepower. I think it'll be perfect for your family. The Ford Explorer has been one of the top-selling SUVs on the market, and this 2023 Ford Explorer XLT will be no exception.
Big thanks to Heller Ford in El Paso, Illinois for letting us test this for the weekend.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. And this Explorer comes in iconic silver, and it has the XLT Sport package on it.
The XLT Sport package is a $2,000 option that you can get on the Ford Explorer. It comes with carbonized gray 20-inch wheels with a matching grille, chrome exhaust tips, side body molding, black Explorer badge across the front, which is really cool, and black mirror caps.
So this XLT is equipped with the 2.3 liter EcoBoost, which is a turbocharged inline 4-cylinder, and it's paired with a 10-speed transmission, producing 300 horsepower and giving it an EPA-estimated average of 22 miles per gallon.
This Explorer is great for any family. The interior of it, it's so roomy. The size of it is perfect. But what I love about the Explorer is that it also has a lot of styling details that give it a sporty look. The front of it has a nice beefed up look about it. And then I like how Ford has smoothed the transition through the side and the back of the vehicle and gave it that sporty angled aerodynamic look towards the back of it. It's really a beautiful overall vehicle as far as styling on the outside. Not only is the Ford Explorer a really great family vehicle for its seating capacity, which is 7 in total, we also have a really great cargo space in the back. There's plenty of room for any groceries or daily activity stuff that you need to do as a family with this vehicle. And we're gonna go ahead and have Jim come in and do the Jim test to kind of give you a good idea of how big the cargo space actually is. The back seats also fold down, of course, to give you more space. Jim's gonna lay them down here so you can see how quick and easy it is to get a little bit of extra space back here when you need it. So just a few seconds and you've got all this extra room. It's really convenient.
So the XLT comes standard with heated front seats, a 6.5-inch driver display, 10-way adjustable driver's seat, a tri-zone climate control, and an 8-inch infotainment screen. Now this particular XLT is optioned with the 202A package, which is an extra $3,500 if you want that. But it also gives you remote start, you get heated steering wheel, you get an 8-way adjustable passenger seat, and you also get LED fog lights with a skid plate. Also added to this Explorer is the Co-Pilot 360 Assist Plus package for $1,000, which adds adaptive cruise control with stop and go, voice activated navigation, and lane centering. Let's talk about the interior of the Ford Explorer. I love the roominess of this vehicle. It does seat 7. The seating is very comfortable. We've got heated seats and all kinds of adjustments you can do to get yourself comfortable. The particular color in this is black and a slate gray, and this is the Active X material, which is close to leather but not leather. It is smooth and comfortable. Ford does a great job of putting in some accent stitching. With this package, I believe some of the other ones even have a color stitching, so that's a nice design element. I like the layout of the dash. Everything is in reach and easy to use. I enjoy the transition of the black to the matte black to, there's like this carbonized material here, and then back to the flat gray. I think that this is a unique styling in the way that it's laid out, and it is very beautiful and classic. As far as storage goes, this vehicle is amazing. Ford always does a great job with that. We've got the middle console. There's a open storage where you can charge your phone and a slip pad there, and then a 12-volt plug as well. There's the sunglasses holder up above here, which I always love. I'm trained to just grab that and open that up. The cup holders are great. This vehicle definitely passes the Felicia test for water bottles. This is my 32-ounce bottle, and it actually fits in these cup holders.
There are some little grippers so you can put different sizes in there, which I think is great. Over on the door, there's a compartment where the handle is that you can put your phone if you'd like. It will stay in there. And then even in the door compartments, you can still put this large water bottle down there and even a couple more in the door. I really like the amount of storage that's in here. We do also have the console in the middle with quite a bit of storage as well. I think that the space in this vehicle is great. I don't feel cramped. I don't feel like if there were actually 5 more people in the back seat, you would get that cramped feeling. So as far as the interior goes, it's very roomy. The front has a lot of room for sure. Getting into that second row seat, you can see that there's a lot of leg room and headroom. You can even adjust the seat going forward and backward, as well as the backrest, which reclines up and down slightly. And then getting into the back row is about as easy as it is for any vehicle with a third row. The seat does slide up pretty far. Jim is 6 foot and he can get in and out of there fairly easily, and pull that seat back into its position. Now remember, that seat can be slid up or back depending on the person that's in the back seat to give them a little bit more leg room. The headspace in the back is great as well. There's a little carved out portion so that those people in that third row, should they need to be back there, have plenty of room.
This engine and transmission seem to lay down plenty of power, and the acceleration is really good. It's strong, but if you're really looking for that little extra punch, you want to switch over to the sport mode so you can take full accessibility of that 300 horsepower. And on this you have 7 GOAT modes to choose from. So whether you want to put it in sport, or you want to do some towing or deep snow, some off-roading, this thing will cover you no matter what you want to do.
The seating in the 2023 Ford Explorer is excellent. The seats are nice and firm, yet very comfortable and contoured. The ActiveX material that's on these seats is very durable, worry-free. You don't need to worry about spilling anything on them. You don't have to worry about them wearing out or anything like that. The seats are fully adjustable in the front and the back, and so it's very easy to make the driver's position very comfortable. There's also plenty of leg room and adjustability as far as moving your seat up and down and getting your feet and legs where you need them in position for comfortable driving. And I think that where the steering wheel rests, where your arms rest, and everything about the little cabin area of the seat is very, very comfortable. It feels very natural.
The steering is pretty tight. It's doing a good job handling most corners and quick movements with minimal body roll. But during some tight cornering, this is an SUV and you are going to feel its size and weight. But it's not so much that you'll feel like you're out of control.
The accessibility to everything in this car is really great and catered to the driver. The steering wheel is fully adjustable to get it right where you need it. The seats are fully adjustable to get your drive position right where you need it. All of the controls that are on the steering wheel, behind the steering wheel and on the steering wheel are very easy to use. The logos and directions on them are great. Anything that you need to use to make this car go and drive is super convenient.
So the suspension feels really good in here. It's tight when it needs to be, but it's soft enough to be a daily driver and to commute your family around in. I would like to see here in the United States them to start to put in some adjustable suspension. That way when you switch for your GOAT modes, like when you go into sport mode, it can tighten up a little bit and it can soften up a little bit if you go off-roading.
So let's talk about layout of the Ford Explorer. What is it about this car that helps you to do life while you drive? I think this has a lot to offer. Everything from how the seats are laid out to where you can access everything, to even the window switches being really easily accessible. for when you're just doing daily life, going through the drive-through, whatever. These switches are very easy to use. We also have a lot of storage in the middle of the vehicle that's going to make life easier as you go down the road. Your sunglasses are in a holder right up here above you. There's storage underneath the infotainment screen and underneath the radio and heat controls, which also, for comfortability and making life easier, are very easy to get to from the driver's seat. Overall, the accessibility as far as making life easy and comfortable in this vehicle is really, really superb.
So this 2023 Ford Explorer XLT starts out at $40,500. And with the options that are added to this one that we talked about earlier, this one comes in at $50,500.
We scored this Explorer a 9 out of 10 garages. We would totally put it in our garage. Would you put it in yours?
Make sure to let us know in the comments.
And be sure to like and subscribe so you can join us for our next video.
This is a 2024 Mazda CX-90 Premium Plus all-wheel drive. Let's go check it out. I really love the front end of this. This is really stylish. Looks bulky. It kind of gives it a presence on the road. Really do like that look. We'll come around to the side. This does have 21-inch wheels on it, and I like the way those look too. This color is amazing. It's kind of a maroonish red, or deep cherry red, if you want to call it cherry red. Really nice metallic flake. This one comes with a 3.3 liter inline turbo 6-cylinder. So it gets 340 horsepower, 369 foot-pounds of torque. It also has an 8-speed transmission. It gets 23 miles a gallon in the city and 28 on the highway. Now the base price on this is $59,950, and this one that I'm driving right here is $61,920. So let's go take a look at the hatch area. Of course, you get a powered hatch, and the cool thing is this is 3-row seating. So there's not a whole lot of space right behind the third row, but it's a decent amount of space. You can put probably a couple small suitcases. You might be able to stand them up, and then you've got maybe a duffel bag or something like that, or a couple duffel bags back here. These back seats, pull these handles and push them forward. Very simple to drop them, just like that. And now you have a lot bigger cargo area. So it's actually pretty good. The second row seats also fold down, and you will have plenty of room. You can see the third row seating. They actually have 2 cup holders on each side back here. That's kind of awkward. What would you need? How many people are you going to sit back here? So, but that's a pretty good deal for them. Put the seats back up, grab the strap, pull them back up, and they're in. Same here, pull it back up, and they're good. All right, let's go check out the interior. Mazda has been one of my wife's favorites. She's had a Mazda 6 2 different times, 2 different body styles, and she loves them. And this is going to be perfect for your family. The seats have a nice brown leather stripe down the center of them. The rest of the seats feel like they are a vegan leather, and they are heated and cooled. You've got powered seats with lumbar. So here is your driver's display. Pretty basic, but it's bright and clear and easy to read. This is the battery charge for the plug-in hybrid side, and then you also have your gas tank on that side. And then there is your infotainment screen, and it is pretty basic. It doesn't have a whole lot of functions in it. And you have all of your climate control right underneath there. That is a really good spot, really easy to find and use. Shift knob, what's different is when you put this in park, you go up to reverse and push over to get it into park. And then you have to push over and then down to get it into drive. So that's a little different. This is your hill descent control, and you've got your camera button right here. So you can hit this button right here and it will change where the battery level resides. So it will turn the engine on when it needs to revitalize your battery. Other than that, you have two cup holders here, but the interior of this is still pretty simple and laid out really nice. Everything you need is really close to you and easy to find. You know, into the second row, and you do have second row captain's chairs. They are probably standard. I don't know if there is a bench offered. I do have the seat in my position. As you can see, plenty of room. There is about 4 inches of room there between my knees and the seat. And then you see my headroom here, and there is plenty. There is 2 inches maybe, somewhere in there, 1.5 inches. So we're good on that aspect. You have vents back here, you get 2 USB-Cs, and you have full climate control with heated seats in this second row. This second row does slide forward and backwards. And to be able to get into the back, you also have a handle right back here that will flip that forward, and then you push them up to get back into the back, and that's how much room you have there in the back. Nice interior, very impressive. Well, you've seen the inside and the outside, so let's go take this for a drive. And we are gonna do our 0 to 60 right now. 1, 2, 3. $60. All right, so what I realized is when I pressed on the accelerator, it took about a half a second to maybe a full second before it actually took off. But it was building up that turbo before it decided it was going to launch. So I can't really fault it too much for that. It did rev everything up and then it took off. It did accelerate pretty well. I'm guessing it's probably in the 5 to 6 second range, which is very good for this size of a vehicle. These are not light vehicles. You know, you got a 3-row passenger vehicle able to accelerate between 5 to 6 seconds. You know, that's pretty good. Now, we're going around these little bends, and they are 25 miles an hour. Now, a vehicle lower to the ground, you're going to be able to take these corners a lot better. This is doing a pretty decent job. It does have some body roll, but this is a taller vehicle, so you're going to have some of that. So I could feel a little bit of lean, and we're going about 35 into that. It will take it without any problem, and we could probably even give it a little bit more around these corners, and it shouldn't have too much of a problem. But I wouldn't go any more than around about 45 through these 25s, and you might be, you know, leaning a little hard. The seats are really comfortable. I kind of just feel good in here, and that's how Mazdas have always been. They're always something that just makes you feel good. I like the layout of this. The layout is really nice. Very impressive. So this does have like it has a Mazda hybrid boost. So whenever you accelerate, if you do it to a certain extent, it will engage that, and it says it right on the screen, it lights up boost. So it gives you that little hybrid electric motor boost to give you that little extra power. I like that. Unlike the Honda Pilot, I didn't feel that just the combustion engine on that had enough power, but with this, I feel like there's plenty of power in this Mazda. It does feel like a large vehicle. You can definitely tell that you are driving a larger vehicle. Some of that maybe because I've been driving multiple different vehicles these last 2 days, and this is one of the larger ones that I've driven. But it handles and drives like a lot smaller vehicle than what it is. If I had to make a choice between this one, the Honda Pilot, maybe a Ford Explorer, I think I probably would choose this. It's just comfortable and fun to drive. It's just a comfortable place to be. It's enjoyable. We are cruising. You know, it really sounds good too. I don't know what you guys think, but I think this sounds good. This inline-six, it sounds pretty good. I like it. Thanks for joining me in this 2024 Mazda CX-90. This is the Premium Plus, and you should buy it. I'll see you in the next one.